What's up guys, so today we're gonna be reacting to the life of Pablo Escobar, the drug lord. He's known as the drug lord, so we're gonna watch this video. A little 40-minute video. It's a long video, but we're gonna see him.
That's one man I could have shot and never lost a minute's sleep about it.
I wanted Escobar. Did.
Damn. That boy, his face. Just look at that face. Oh.
Escobar was 100 times worse than I thought. He was a maniac.
Pablo told me, he said, don't ever come here and tell me you screwed up. He said, I don't even want to begin to tell you the consequences for that.
Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria era un asesino, un narcotraficante, un terrorista, pero era mi amigo.
That's one man I could have shot and never lost a minute's sleep about it.
I wanted Escobar. Did.
Damn. Look at his face. His face just says killer. That's like a killer. A real killer. Yo chat, they really made a whole 40-minute video just about one person. Damn. Hold up. What's Russia's president doing this video? Damn chat.
During the mid-'80s, a lot of the cocaine was coming in from Colombia. We were seeing hundreds and hundreds of kilos in the streets in Miami, the streets in New York.
Chat, hundreds and hundreds of kilos. If 1 kilo can sell up to what? 10 grand in USA and like say about 80 grand in New York. Bro, he's pulling hella money. Hella money.
We started seeing Colombian traffickers killing other Colombian traffickers.
Damn.
And we always heard of one person that was sending the majority, a guy by the name of Pablo.
One person sent this stuff. He did this. One person.
During the mid-'80s, a lot of the cocaine was coming in from Colombia. We were seeing hundreds and hundreds of kilos in the streets in Miami, the streets in New York. We started seeing Colombian traffickers killing other Colombian traffickers. And we always heard of one person that was sending the majority, a guy by the name of Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria.
That smile is gonna be real. Nah.
He had his own little empire going in Colombia at this time, and 80% of the cocaine was being sent by Pablo Escobar in the Medellin cartel. And basically, Pablo was the CEO.
CEO of the cocaine. He was the main supplier.
One of the ringleaders is thought to be one of the richest men in the world, Pablo Escobar.
You've got a man who has been estimated.
Richest in the world, one of the richest. Let's just say, bro's probably pulling like what? 1.8 million per day.
At being worth between $8 and $30 billion.
Damn.
There's just so much money to be made in that business, and it's easy money. For example, to produce a kilo of cocaine in Colombia, the expenses are roughly $1,000. To transport that kilo into the United States, your transportation expenses are going to be between $3,000 and $4,000 back in that day. So you've got a $5,000 investment per kilo. During that time, a kilo of cocaine in Miami would go for about $60,000 a kilo. If you got
60.
got it up to New York, you might get as much as $80,000.
I swear this bro's putting hella money. I'm sorry. Bro was a millionaire off when he first started. Damn.
There's so much money involved, they didn't bother to count the money. They weighed the money. The largest seizure that we made of cocaine in San Antonio, the record seizure, was 5 kilos. In Colombia, we were seizing hundreds and thousands of kilos every week.
Damn.
It was a complete different scene.
For the key to our anti-drug strategy, my very reason for being here this afternoon is not to announce another short-term government offensive, but to call instead for a national crusade against drugs.
The war on drugs is probably one of those futile efforts ever. It's a monster.
Against drugs.
Hold up. This guy, he looks like he did cocaine, no joke. He looks like he did cocaine before, I don't know. He just looks like he did cocaine before.
The war on drugs is probably one of those futile efforts ever. It's a monster. It took a while for the Drug Enforcement Agency to actually come to a realization of what the hell was happening.
The American drug crisis has reached such proportions that confiscating nearly 800 pounds of cocaine in Miami, or $8 million, 1 week's sales.
$8 million, 1 week sale. Ain't no way.
A New York drug ring doesn't even faze the drug lords. It's a $100 billion a year business.
I used cocaine for a period of time, but
Chat, what did I say? He looked like he used cocaine before. His face said it.
to be in that business, you can't use drugs and do it right.
Pablo Escobar was motivated by his own greed, by his own power.
Money goes hand in hand with power. The more money you have, the more people you can influence, the more people you can buy, the more you can be untouched, the more you can...
That is true, but not now in this time of the day. If you have money, people are gonna kill you. They're coming for you. That's all I'm gonna say. You have lots of money, people's gonna kill you. They want you. They're gonna eliminate you. In 2026, we cannot do this.
corrupt.
Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria era un asesino, un narcotraficante, un terrorista, un secuestrador, un extorsionista y un ladrón, pero era mi amigo.
What?
The more people you can buy, the more you can be untouched, the more you can corrupt.
Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria era un asesino, un narcotraficante, un terrorista, un secuestrador, un extorsionista y un ladrón, pero era mi amigo.
He was
unpredictable. The only thing you could predict is that he carried out whatever threat he made. So if he said he was going to kill somebody, he killed him.
Sometimes God say, I am God. If I say a man dies, he dies that same day. Pablo Escobar.
Well, there's an old saying that marijuana business was done with a handshake and the cocaine business was done with a gun.
Escobar took the violence to a whole new level. You know, law enforcement
Made. So if he said he was going to kill somebody, he killed him.
Well, there's an old saying that marijuana business was done with a handshake and the cocaine business was done with a gun.
1, 2.
Escobar took the violence to a whole new level. You know, law enforcement was just wanting to get this guy out of the society. He was that big of a threat. You see all the senseless deaths that are being committed because of this one person. If you didn't agree with him, he would take you out without even a second thought.
I had never
I would understand that because like he's the drug lord. He was gonna do everything to have power.
seen it. I'm coming from a from a small office in Austin, Texas. I wasn't used to this type of stuff. I always remember him saying he wanted body count. He wanted the more bodies.
Without even a second thought.
I had never seen it. I'm coming from a from a small office in Austin, Texas. I wasn't used to this type of stuff. I always remember him saying he wanted body count. He wanted the more bodies so that way he could show Colombia that he was winning the war.
Recuerdo el día más feliz de Pablo Escobar. Allí conoció a un terrorista de la ETA que tenía la técnica de los carrombomba a control remoto. Dinamitamos un automóvil viejísimo, un Buick 54, que las latas son gruesísimas, es como blindado. Fue una cosa de locos.
Damn.
Primera vez que yo veo que el patrón...
Damn. It's the first time I ever saw the boss dropped these guys.
abandona su personalidad. Felices.
Let's face it, it's a dirty, dangerous, evil business. And if you want to be the king, sometimes the king has to pick up the phone and drop bombs on people.
What? Bombs on people?
My biggest fear was wrong time, wrong place, the car bombs.
There was a time when he set a car bomb off. The primary shoppers at that time were moms with their children buying school supplies. When you see that type of carnage and those horrific acts being portrayed against innocent people, especially children who haven't even had a chance at life yet, honestly, that's one man I could have shot and never lost a minute's sleep about it.
Nosotros pensamos que Pablo Escobar era inmortal. Manejaba las situaciones apremiantes con total sangre fría.
As the government continued to build a case against Escobar, the next thing you see is we see a guerrilla group attacking the Justice Ministry, the building itself, physically attacking this building, simply so he could get in there and destroy thousands of records that might or might not contain information that would be incriminating to him. Well, how many justice ministers were killed? 7, 8? He would stop at nothing to get his own way. Multiple murders and needless deaths. And why? It was all because one man, one guy, wanted to impose him.
Damn, one person caused all these deeds. That's insane. Yes, he's crazy order.
His will on everybody else in that country.
En ese momento nosotros ganamos la guerra contra la República de Colombia. ¿Eso qué le costó al Estado? 250 bombas que colocamos en todo el país, a diestra y siniestra. Ya casi la destruimos económicamente, moralmente y físicamente.
Estábamos combatiendo la organización delictiva más poderosa del mundo. Y segundo, la parte ya personal, porque primero trató de asesinarme la familia en Santa Marta. Entonces ya era como una especie también de autodefensa, ¿no? Porque si yo no lo eliminaba, el tipo me eliminaba. Entonces ya se convirtió él contra el general Maza, porque era una cosa obsesiva la de él.
Nosotros no pudimos matar a Miguel Alfredo Maza Márquez. Era el hombre. Manejaba el 80% de la inteligencia en Colombia.
Pablo set off a 500-kilo bomb trying to kill one person, General Maza Marquez, who was in charge of DOS. It's the Colombian equivalent of the FBI. There were over 100 people killed in that bombing just because he wanted to kill one guy.
Donde las personas que estaban en el foco de la...
Damn. He killed over 100 people trying to kill one person.
The FBI. There were
This guy he tried killing.
Nosotros no pudimos matar a Miguel Alfredo Maza Márquez. Era el hombre.
There's all the
Manejaba el 80% de la inteligencia en Colombia.
One guy.
Pablo set off a 500-kilo bomb trying to kill
500 kilo.
one person, General Maza Marquez, who was in charge of DAS. It's the Colombian
That guy he tried killing guys.
equivalent of the FBI. There were over 100 people killed in that bombing just because he wanted to kill one guy.
Donde las personas
It's low-key sad. Low-key it's sad.
que estaban en el foco de la explosión se desaparecieron. Estalló una cosa de loco. Dejó un boquete increíble. Fue el 11 de septiembre de esa época. Fue el atentado terrorista más grande en el mundo. Fue una cosa brutal, pero falló el objetivo principal, que era matar a Miguel Alfredo Maza Márquez.
Todos murieron. Las escoltas, secretarias. Ese día fue un día muy desastroso. Bajar después 9 pisos por las escaleras viendo gente mutilada, gente pidiendo auxilio. Me marcó la vida de tal manera que yo para dormir tranquilo necesito medicina, porque sin la medicina no lo puedo hacer.
Pero realmente ahí se mostró gran poder. Pablo Escobar gana porque mostrar ese poder tan brutal de que se podía detonar una bomba de ese calibre. La sociedad colombiana, las autoridades colombianas agacharon la cabeza ante el poder de Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria.
Escobar was 100 times worse than I thought. He was a maniac.
Who has that audacity to order those killings? The Avianca bomb, the DAS bombing, numerous police officers, judges, Minister of Justice, presidential candidates. I wanted Escobar. Did.
You know, the oldest, most honorable professions in the world are prostitution and smuggling. And go back way before Christ, okay, to the Silk Road. And I don't think I really innovated any of it. I just enhanced it. And the money, you know, just kept building and building. And the thrill of it was like an opiate. I couldn't get enough of it. I didn't have to sell it or try hard at it. I had the greatest advertising system in the world promoting it, the entertainment industry. $60,000 a kilo was nothing to people in that industry, and they just bought it up like candy. Even Johnny Carson would make jokes about it on TV, on his show, okay? I mean, everybody knew it. Everybody knew what was going on. Woody Allen made movies about it. Everybody laughed about it. Studio 54 was lined up for blocks. You couldn't even get in the men's room or the ladies' room because everybody was in there snorting cocaine. It was like, it was incredible. First time I met Pablo was at his ranch. It was in 1975. We flew down there in a private plane. You know, it was all business. I told him that, you know, I was experienced in transporting across Mexican borders, and I didn't see any reason why I couldn't transport it out of Colombia. And he was intrigued by that. I told him, I don't want to buy the stuff. I don't want you to front it to me. You own it. And I said, I'll charge you $10,000 a kilo to get it back into the United States. Pablo told me, he said, cocaine is poison, he said. And he said, I don't want you to come here and tell me someday that you lost the load because you were stoned on cocaine. He said, I don't even want to begin to tell you the consequences for that.
When I arrived in Colombia, it didn't take me very long to realize that I didn't know anything about Colombia. Bombs were going off everywhere, people getting killed left and right. By the time I was there, maybe a year, I was obsessed with Pablo. I mean, I had to get Pablo.
What we hadn't realized was that Pablo Escobar was a very charismatic person. This guy was relying on hundreds and hundreds of young kids working for him. We hadn't realized that Sicario base was so large.
Well, he's recruiting from kids that are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. He's turning them into murderers for money. He's turning them into sicarios, into assassins.
I remember debriefing one of the sicarios. I think this kid was like 15 years old. He had already admitted to 10 killings. He said, you know what? Our life expectancy is 21, 22 years old. We know we're gonna get killed, but if we can satisfy our boss, Escobar, if we can prove that we're loyal to him, this is what we want.
Pablo Escobar had a brilliant recruiting system because he offered not just the chance to be somebody, to have power, to have a gun. He became somebody with status in his...
Okay, chat. Look at this. Okay, this is part 1. I'm gonna upload part 2 and part 3. I'm gonna do separate. So this is part 1. If you made it to the end, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below what you want to see next. And as I was going to say,
he became the person.
You guys on my TikTok, guys below my TikTok up, we like about to hit 600 followers, as you guys can see. I'm gonna say appreciate it. Well, peace, we out.